Okay, hello and welcome back to another YouTube channel. Today we are going to be making really simple bookmarks that are so customizable. As you can see here, these ones are acetate printed shaker bookmarks, these ones are printed holographic bookmarks, and these are sticker holographic bookmarks. And we also have some little jar shaped ones here which are easy to make using the same process, but just using little star stickers. You'll show them at the end. So today we're going to be making a sticker shaker bookmark, and we are going to be making a sticker holographic bookmark, which is this one here. So these are made in a very similar way, that's why we're going to be making these two. And once you see how simple this is, you're going to be making so many of these little bookmarks. Okay, so per bookmark we're going to be making two. You're going to need some acetate sheeting from packaging, or if you don't have the packaging, links below for everything that I buy on Amazon will be there. You're going to need 2 sheets of acetate for the shaker bookmark, 1 sheet of your desired scrapbook paper, and then for the sticker one you're going to need 2 sheets of the acetate for this bookmark, 1 sheet of your paper, and 1 piece of holographic sticky back plastic, also from Amazon. The link will be below. You're also going to need an assortment of stickers. Now you want the stickers that have a transparent background, not any with like a white background, although it probably would still look as cute. And if you don't want to use stickers, you can just use scrapbook paper to make these bookmarks, but the stickers allow you to make these more 3D. As you can see, the sequins are behind them, the holographic is behind them, and it just makes them stand out more. So it's really better if you can use stickers for these. Okay, we're going to get to it. Now for the size of your bookmark, it is completely up to you. I make mine the width of my craft ruler, but you can make them any width you want and any length you want. This is completely customizable to suit whatever it is that you prefer your bookmarks to be. Now don't forget, you need 2 pieces of acetate per bookmark. I'm just going to trim some up here. I usually just lay it down, score them, and then as you can see, it leaves like kind of a line that is easy to pull the acetate apart. Okay, I've got my 4 pieces here. I'm gonna lay them out because we are making 2 bookmarks. Now if you're only making 1 bookmark, you obviously only need 2 pieces. This one we're going to make holographic. So the first thing we do is use a strip of our holographic sheet, and we're going to stick it to one part of our acetate. Now if you were making the printed version of these bookmarks, you would only need 1 piece of acetate, 1 printed image, and then you would put the holographic over your printed image and sandwich the acetate on top of that. But this is for the sticker version where we need it to be see-through, so you can see the scrapbook paper at the back. Okay, so there we go. We are going to trim this down now because it's well over the edges. Everything we put on this acetate will be trimmed back, and I realized I made it a little bit short, so I'm going to take a little strip from the side and I'm just going to fill in that gap at the bottom. It's because I'd already been using these holographic papers, so I'd kind of got a bit off it and didn't realize it was short. So I'm just going to stick that on, fill it in. Nobody remembers it's there, nobody will see it's there. It's just a secret between you and I. And we're going to trim it all down. I really love how those holographic papers look. I've got so many patterns of them. If you want these exact ones, I will put the link down below on my Amazon where I put all my craft supplies. It comes in a mixed pack, and some of them are so cute. There's little stars and hearts, and I think there's one with butterflies as well. Okay, so once you have done that, you are now going to go to the next stage, which is your sticker decoration. So there we go, we're ready. This is a holographic one. The other one doesn't need holograph because it just makes it too busy with the sequence, but you can make it holographic if you want. Now you're going to pick your stickers to put all over your holographic one. Just leave a lot of gaps if you want things to shine through and look pretty. It's not as important on this bookmark to leave very many gaps because it is just so the holograph can shine through, whereas the sequin one, you really want the sequins to shine through a lot more, so you would leave a lot more gaps. So you can do anything you want, and I'm using this handy little tool here, which is a game changer if you're using stickers. You lay the sticker on the table, hold the edge down and push it between the two layers, and it peels stickers in seconds. This is also a link down below in my Amazon because it's one of my most used tools. And I'm just going to stick on these butterflies all over this piece of acetate in a very pleasing way to make this bookmark. Now most of my stickers, because I get asked this in these kind of videos a lot, come from AliExpress. I don't really have, oh that was 2 stickers, I don't really have links for a lot of them, as some of my collection is years old and I've had them for such a long time that I can't find links for them. But if you're ever looking for really cheap stickers, and a lot of them, just pop onto AliExpress and just put in, I think these are called PTA stickers or PT, I can't remember. You want the ones that are see-through anyway. Just put in stickers, scrapbooking stickers, you'll find so many. Okay, so once I have stuck all these butterflies on, I am going to have a little dig in my stash for something to fill in more of the gaps, because there are pretty big gaps between these butterflies, and one of the things I like to use as filler is little leaf stickers or flower stickers, but this totally depends on you. I think in a future video I'm going to make a different kind of bookmark with you using scrap papers and vintage stickers and show you how to make a bit more of a vintagey looking bookmark. Now the reason I love the acetate is these become very wipeable, cleanable bookmarks, very durable. I've made some of these in the past and I've still got one that is 2 or 3 years old and still is in amazing condition, and it gets a lot of abuse. So here's me coming in with some leaf stickers, and I'm just going to fill in some of these gaps, and don't worry, I'm not going to make you endure it, I'm going to speed it up. So as you can see, as I put them on here, a lot of the stickers stick off the edges, and one way not to waste so much stickers is once you stick them on and trim off the backs, you can actually use those cut off bits on other parts of the bookmark, which you'll see me doing, because I really hate wasting supplies. I mean, most of my supplies are recycled things, so I like to try and use as much as I can by putting those stickers on other parts of the little bookmark. Okay, so now that that is all done, that one is all nice and ready. I'm not going to make you watch me decorate the second version because it is the same exact process of sticking on stickers. But remember, we're going to keep this one more sparse because the sequins, we really want the sequins to be seen. So this version, minimal stickers. Okay, as you can see, I literally stuck 2. Once I actually looked through my stash, I thought, these will do, this will look cool. Okay, so here we are on the next step. Now that you have, each bookmark has 1 sticker page and 1 plain clear, we are going to sandwich them together like so, and we are going to pick our background papers. Now you want something that's not very busy for your holographic one because it's not really going to be seen, and then for my toadstool one I can be a little more adventurous. So for my butterfly I'm going with this piece that I've used, it's the same paper from the ladybug one, and then for my toadstools I'm going to use the toadstool paper, but you're probably not going to see a lot of it because of the sequins, but I like to keep on theme. So what you're going to do is you are going to pick a piece of paper and leave it bigger than your plastic, because when you come to your sewing machine this thing shifts so easily. You will be glad of having extra paper. As you can see, I'm going to cut myself quite a big bit of paper. And then we are going to clip the 2 pieces of acetate onto the paper with some sewing clips, and this ensures that they do not move around when you come to actually stitching this in place. So try and kind of hold them in a few places just to keep everything nice and solid, like so. And on the one that is holographic, you're going to sew all 4 sides, but on the one that is a shaker, you're only going to sew 3 sides. So at the bottom here, do not sew it, leave it open, because as you see when we come back, this is where we're going to put our sequins, in that little slot. So you want to trim down your paper now that it's all sewed firmly in place. Now I use just an ordinary sewing machine, ordinary cream thread, just a basic straight stitch. Quite a small straight stitch I've used here, but depending on your acetate, you might want to make it a bit of a longer straight stitch so that it doesn't break your acetate. And you want to cut off all your threads. Now because acetate is also quite jaggy, you're going to round your corners because you don't want anyone harming themselves on your little bookmarks. Just going to give them a little round. Okay, so this, I mean, you could stop here if you were making a basic bookmark. If you had sewed all 4 edges, that is quite a decent little bookmark, but I like things to go that extra mile, be a little more durable, a little more polished, and a little more expensive looking. So we are going to add the next steps to this bookmark. So this one had a little too much excessive acetate on one of the strips that I'd cut, so I'm just trimming that down. This is a good time to trim everything up nice and neat. Don't forget to curve those corners, because trust me, I've been stabbed by acetate before and it can cut you. It's not very nice, especially when you're enjoying a good book and then bam, assaulted by a bookmark. Okay, so once we have done this, we are going to move to the next step. Okay, so for your holographic one, this is not the next step, but you're going to get your back fabric here. So you can use leatherette, you can use craft foam or felt, it doesn't really matter. You want a fabric that does not fray. That is the only important part. Any kind of fabric at all, as long as it does not fray. Okay, this was the step I'm talking about you don't need for your holographic one. We're going to insert something into our little gap, open it up, hold it tight, and fill it with some sequins. Except I changed my mind on the colour, that's why I had to put it down and start again. So I decided I'm using some brown sequins. Now these mixed bags of sequins I have had for about 10 years. These were actually bought as mixed bags in the colours. I think they were from the factory shop like 10 years ago. So yeah, your choice of sequins depends on your collections of sequins. Just mix up some that match your bookmark and put them in there. Don't go overboard though, you want a quite sparse amount so that they can move around and so that they don't make the bookmark bulky. So don't be generous with the sequins. I put a little bit less than normal because I want to add some of these iridescent ones in there. So normally I do maybe 2 or 3 little pinches of sequins, and that is about enough, depending on how big the pinch is, of course. But as you can see, I do not overfill with sequins. I'm just going to chuck some in there. I drop more than what I'm actually putting in, that's why I put a little bit extra in. So shake it around, let them flatten out, see that it's not too bulky, that you've got enough. Perfect. So that is that step done. That is the only difference between those bookmarks right now, is allowing that extra gap. So now we're going to pick our ribbons. I like to use velvet ribbons that once you're done with, you will trim to the length that you desire and singe the edges with a lighter. You're just going to grab yourself a couple of lengths of it. You can use lace trim, other types of ribbon, tassels, it's completely up to you, or maybe none. Maybe you're one of these people that do not like things hanging off your bookmarks. Totally up to you. This step is just something you can miss out. See, I picked pink for this one here, but when I go to sew it later, you'll see the ribbon change colour. That's just because I decided I didn't like it. Okay, so to adhere the ribbons in a place that you're not going to see, you're going to have to get your background fabric. So we're going to cut our piece of background fabric. So sorry, we do not cut it. This is another moment where you need to leave yourself much extra material, because on the sewing machine, much like when you were sandwiching the other things, this has a tendency to shift when you're trying to sew it. So you want to give yourself ample space. Now you're going to wedge your ribbons between, and you're only going to sew that base area where the ribbon sits. A little straight stitch right across. I lost some sequins. Look at my really inability to get them back in there, like I have the hands of a toddler. So you are going to, now this is a great step for also closing the shaker bookmark. Adhering the ribbons is also going to close that gap. So you want to put your bookmark to the edge. I started with blue and decided nope, that does not look good. Even though there was blue in the toadstools, it clashed badly with that ribbon. Okay, I got some red felt. So we've got one with craft foam, one with felt. We're going to put the two ribbons underneath and lay that on top, and just like the craft foam one, we are going to wedge, there we go, wedge them together. We're going to sew right across that bottom with a straight stitch. That is the only part of this you will sew at this precise moment, leaving yourself extra material all the way around. So once you come back from doing that, you're going to need your handy sewing clips again, because we are going to trim down the craft foam, but we're going to hold it in place while we do it, because honestly I cannot stress enough how much these things move on the sewing machine. So you want to be pinning these down before you start sewing them. I have wasted so many bookmarks by not doing this, and then they've sewed on squint and like haven't covered the back of my bookmark. So clip as you go. Trim them down, clip. There we go, perfect. Nothing's going to move, and don't take those clips off until you are sewing that side. Lift your ribbons out of the way if you need to like get underneath to trim anything down the bottom, because sometimes even there, these sometimes have a little bit of movement when you first sew it, so sometimes there's a little edge needing cut off all your threads, voila. And then you're going to do the same with the other one. See, these are very simple processes for these two bookmarks. It's just the addition of sequins in one. Now we are going to zigzag stitch all the way around, and on my machine I set my zigzag to a 5mm wide zigzag, and the spacing is about 1.2mm between the zigzags. If you have a machine that you can alter, you want quite a wide zigzag to go all the way around. I'm just going to trim this one the same and peg this one. I don't know why I keep saying peg this one up. So yeah, if you have a sewing machine where you can alter your zigzag stitches, you want one that's about 5mm. I mean, you can make it wider if you want, it's totally up to you. Or you could use one of those decorative stitches on it. My machine has plenty of those, but I don't know, I just like a simple zigzag. Okay, what you don't want to do though is have a zigzag so close together that it creates like the edge of applique, because sometimes that can actually cause your acetate to rip completely. So you've got to have a little space between your zigzag stitches. That's why mine is set to 1.2. Okay, we're just going to go and zigzag these up, and we are done. There we go. We're going to trim up these stitches, and my desk is getting messier by the second. I'm not too neat with cutting off my threads because I like to singe my threads down. I'll show you in a second. The type of thread I'm using melts, so you just bring the flame near it and it will make all those little tiny ends disappear. But you don't want to get too close, because you can actually burn your stitches apart and then they unravel. You just want to just do what I'm doing here, just get close till they melt away and disappear without actually burning your stitches. And that's how I finish them off. So there we have it. We have finished bookmarks. Perfecto. Wonderful. I mean, they are the cutest thing ever, and I've made so many of these over the years. The last craft fair I was at, I actually had a little bundle of them that I've made years before, and they all sold at this craft fair just in November, and I was really amazed because I'd had them for a long time. So there we go, finishing it off. If you want to see any variations of the other bookmarks, like how I did the acetate Carrero one in the back there, or if you want to see this is showing you here, the craft foam will get indentation from your clips, but it does eventually go away. Felt looks so much nicer. And there we go, you can move your sequins around. If they get a little bit stuck, just flex the edges a little bit, disperse them. It's so cute. If you want any other ones to be shown to you, like these are just printed ones with the holograph on top. They're pretty self-explanatory. You could do it just with scrapbook paper and then the holographic sheet on top of that, and then your piece of acetate, and that is, you're good to go. As you can see, acetate would go on top of that, and then your felt or that stuff on the back. So the variations are easy, self-explanatory, and they're so cute. There's so many ways you could do this, just following these steps. I have done them with a laminator before. Beware, if you laminate, do not laminate the sticker ones. Only laminate the printed ones, because the stickers cause the laminate to peel up. And I did say about these ones, these were the exact same process, but instead of using 2 sheets of acetate, I used one of these humongous stickers here that I got from AliExpress. I used that as my second piece of acetate and used that as the shape of my bookmark. So I got a big square of acetate, I put the stickers on that, then I stuck the jar on top and cut around the jar, if that makes sense. And it's the same exact process to make these little bookmarks. So if you like any of these bookmarks, they will be on my Etsy, most of them, to be sold, and I will catch you in the next video.